The shuttle arrived in silence, gliding across the campus courtyard like a silver tear through the fabric of dawn. Students paused to watch, whispering, adjusting their recording lenses, some switching to livestream mode. It wasn't every day the intergalactic exchange program brought someone here, let alone a student from Argona's prime, a world known for its legendary academies and brutal intellectual standards. The shuttle's ramp lowered, and out stepped Zyron Valketh, standing nearly 7 feet tall. His violet-tinted skin shimmered like glass under sunlight. For silver eyes blinked, adjusting to Earth's brightness. His attire, a sleek metallic suit, shifted color with his movements, technology far beyond anything Earth had developed openly. The crowd stared in awe, cameras floating above their heads, recording every second. But one boy didn't record. He simply watched. Elliot Turner, 17 years old, stood with a backpack slung over one shoulder and an old laptop bag clutched in his hand. He didn't gasp like the others, didn't scramble to upload the moment online. He just observed. To Zyron, that made him stand out. And aliens rarely ignored anomalies. A drone translator hovered beside Zyron. "Welcome to Earth Academy Preparatory School," it chimed. "You are here to study, to blend, and to observe. Remember the directive. No superiority displays." Zyron's upper lip twitched. Argona's prime bred pride so deep it was encoded into their DNA. Literally. But he nodded. Then he saw Elliot again, still staring, but not with fear or admiration. Merely curiosity. Zyron approached. "You are human," he stated, voice smooth yet sharp. The translator echoed the words with crisp clarity. Elliot blinked. "Yeah. Last time I checked. You do not record me. Is the spectacle unworthy of your documentation?" Elliot shrugged. "I don't film people without asking first. Kind of rude." Zyron tilted his head. "Rude. Recording is how your species validates existence. Observation grants importance." Elliot smirked. "Not everything needs an audience." Zyron filed the comment mentally. Primitive philosophy, he thought. He extended a hand, not to shake, but as one might inspect an artifact. "You will guide me. Human. You look average. Average is ideal for understanding baseline intelligence." Students around them gulped. Few gasped. Elliot went quiet, his calm expression faltering. Then he chuckled softly. "Sure," he said. "I'll show you around." The crowd buzzed. Cameras zoomed. The alien student and the ordinary Earth boy walked into the school together. The story might have ended there. Simple curiosity, a school tour, a viral clip. But fate rarely settles for simple. Part 2. The perfect student meets imperfect Earth. By lunch period, everyone knew Zyron Valketh. His intellect stunned teachers, his physical strength intimidated athletes, and his cold arrogance rubbed nearly everyone the wrong way. Except in that peculiar way people admire what they also fear. In biology class, he corrected the teacher's lesson with molecular details Earth scientists hadn't yet discovered. Students applauded. The teacher pretended to take notes. In mathematics, he solved equations so advanced they weren't even on Earth's online academic networks. But in social studies, things shifted. The topic: human history and emotional evolution. Mrs. Armand spoke passionately about humanity's past. Wars, revolutions, inventions, sacrifices, and triumphs. Her voice carried pride, shame, and resilience all at once. Zyron waited until she finished, then raised a hand, polite only in form. "Your species glorifies chaos as progress," he stated flatly. "You wage wars to advance instead of evolving peacefully." Argonauts mastered unity centuries ago. Emotion is the root of your stagnation. The room went silent. Mrs. Armand inhaled. Emotion is not weakness. It drives love, art, determination. It drives conflict, Zyron interrupted. Your species is primitive because feelings govern logic. Eliot watched, fists tightening under his desk. Some emotions are destructive, Eliot said suddenly, but others build everything worth living for. Zyron's 4 eyes narrowed. And you are the expert. A few students whispered nervously. Zyron leaned forward. I have examined your academic files. You are not exceptional, Eliot Turner. Not by your standards or mine. Silence again. Before anyone could speak, the bell rang. Chairs scraped, conversations erupted, but not around Eliot. Not in sympathy. In avoidance. Nobody wanted to be associated with the boy the alien humiliated. But Eliot simply stood, slung his backpack and said quietly, Come on. Cafeteria's this way. They walked in silence, every footstep echoing judgment. Part 3: Pizza, Photos and Perception. The cafeteria was loud and messy. Students laughed, bargained trades for pizza slices, played games on their lenses, argued about music. It was chaotic, human. Zyron sat stiffly at the table, observing meals like biological waste samples. What is that? He asked, pointing at a slice. Pizza, Eliot replied. Cheese, tomato, bread, seasonings. Primitive fuel. Delicious fuel. Eliot took a bite exaggeratedly. Zyron sniffed the air. Argonan nourishment is perfectly engineered for nutrients and efficiency. This, he tapped Eliot's tray, is inefficient. Eliot shrugged again. Food isn't always about efficiency. It's about comfort, family, memories. Indulgent sentiment. Eliot smirked. Yep. At a nearby table, a student whispered loudly enough for them to hear. Why's Eliot hanging with the alien? Doesn't he get embarrassed? Another replied. He probably thinks he'll look cool. But Zyron roasted him in class. Zyron glanced at Eliot. They mock you. Yet you remain unaffected. Eliot paused mid-bite. Used to it. Why? People fear what's different. You'd know something about that. For the first time, one of Zyron's eyes widened, a flicker of discomfort. Then chaos erupted, literally. A freshman accidentally launched a bottle rocket for a video prank experiment. It misfired, ricocheted off a wall, and splat, exploded into neon slime across Zyron's face. The cafeteria froze. The most advanced being on campus. Dripping slime. Giggling started, spreading like contagion. Zyron stood slowly, purple chemical fluid sliding down his features like alien tears. He expected Eliot to be laughing too. But Eliot stood beside him, grabbed napkins and said, Come on. Bathrooms this way. Silently Zyron followed. Part 4. Fragile Hearts and Strong Minds. In the restroom, Zyron examined his reflection. Slime dripping into the sink. They humiliated me, he whispered. Welcome to high school, Eliot replied, rinsing slime out of his hair. Apparently he'd been splashed too. Zyron stared. You endure ridicule constantly. Why? Because people don't need a reason to be cruel, Eliot said. They just need an audience. And you do nothing. Eliot looked up, blue eyes soft but steady. Anger only gives them what they want. Zyron pondered that. You claim emotions build meaning, he said slowly. But all I see are weaknesses. That's because you're only looking at the painful ones, Eliot said, turning off the faucet. Try noticing the good ones. Zyron was about to scoff when a group of students walked in. They froze, awkward. The prank hadn't been meant for the alien, but the embarrassment was real. One muttered, "Sorry, dude. Didn't think it'd hit you." Zyron stared coldly. Intent is irrelevant. Outcome defines action. Elliot touched his arm lightly. "We accept apologies here." Zyron glanced down at the hand, confused by the gesture. But he nodded stiffly. Something new flickered in his expression. Not understanding, but consideration. Part 5 Sports Day. 2 days later, the school held its annual sports festival. Every student participated, even exchange ones. Zyron scanned the brochure. Physical competition instead of collaborative improvement. Primitive. It's for fun, Elliot laughed. And teamwork. That implies humans require competition to unify. Sometimes competition brings people together, Elliot replied. Like cheering for a team. Or pushing yourself. Zyron's eyes glimmered. Argonans do not require motivation. Excellence is duty. People here try, Elliot said. And trying matters. Zyron joined anyway, out of curiosity, not agreement. The relay race began. Teams dashed across the field. When Zyron ran, he moved like a streak of violet lightning, leaving humans tripping in his wake. The crowd stared in stunned silence. No cheers, just intimidation. Zyron noticed. Victory didn't feel like triumph. Felt like isolation. Then came the obstacle course. Students climbed ropes, crawled tunnels, balanced beams. Zyron could have bypassed obstacles effortlessly using alien strength and reflexes. But he hesitated. Elliot's voice echoed in his mind. Trying matters. So Zyron tried the human way. Slowly, carefully, choosing effort over superiority. Halfway in, Elliot slipped from a beam, falling roughly. Gasps erupted. Zyron froze. Argonan instinct dictated efficiency. Leave the weak, continue mission. But another instinct, new, unfamiliar, whispered louder. Help him. Before anyone reacted, Zyron leaped down, landing beside Elliot, offering his hand. The crowd murmured, confused and moved. Elliot groaned. You didn't have to stop the race. Zyron's reply surprised even himself. Victory feels hollow when no one stands with you. They finished the course together, slow, messy, laughing once. And the applause that followed wasn't fear-based. It was warm. Zyron stood straighter, stronger. Because this time, he felt something he hadn't expected. Pride earned, not enforced. Part 6 What Earth Means. A week later, Zyron requested a private meeting with headmaster and program officials. Elliot was invited too, awkward and uncertain. Zyron spoke first. I came to assess your species. I believed emotion was weakness. Logical. Wasteful. He paused, glancing at Elliot. But I observed something greater. You fall yet rise. You break yet heal. You are flawed, catastrophically flawed. But each flaw is potential, not failure. Emotion does not hinder evolution. It accelerates it. Administrators stared, stunned. Zyron placed a hand to his chest, Argonan's sign of sincerity. Earth's strength is not in technology or strategy. It is in resilience, in hope, in imperfection pursued with passion. He bowed his head slightly. Humanity is not primitive. It is becoming. Elliot exhaled, shocked and grateful. Also, Zyron added deadpan, pizza is superior to Argonan nutrient paste. Laughter filled the room. Real laughter. The exchange officers nodded proudly. They had never seen an elite Argonan student express humility. When Xiron and Elliot walked out, sunlight struck them, warm and golden. Elliot nudged him. "Oh, learned something, huh?" Xiron nodded. "Yes, Earth is not a mistake in evolution. It is a miracle in progress." "And humans?" Elliot asked. Xiron looked at him, not with superiority, but with respect. "Humans are extraordinary. Especially average ones." Elliot chuckled. "Guess that's a compliment." "It is," Xiron replied. "And Elliot Turner. Yeah, you are no longer average." For the first time since arriving, Xiron smiled. A real, imperfect, human-influenced smile. And on that day, an alien who once mocked humanity learned what Earth truly meant. Not perfection. Possibility. Not superiority. Struggle. Not cold logic. Heart. And he realized the universe had much to learn.